I'll speak for myself. I never thought that I would be offering an apology to Jeffrey Epstein. I think of all the times I've maligned that guy, all the times I've accused him of crimes, of blackmailing people, of trafficking children to powerful figures around the world on behalf of global intel services. And then I learned yesterday from Attorney General Pam Bondi that's totally untrue.
Yes, yeah.
The guy killed himself after 36 days in prison for no reason. He was a billionaire. He had no clients. He'd done nothing wrong other than get like naughty massages 20 years before. And the guy killed himself, another pointless death. And then his best friend, former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, doing 20 years in prison for no crime. There are no victims.
Yes, it's a victimless crime. They're obviously persecuted by the state.
Yes.
They're political prisoners, really. It's The Hague should come in and do an investigation, or we're watching one of the most systematic government cover-ups of all time.
I'll speak for myself.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. We are live, man. Okay, so, wow. Yeah, we all owe Jeffrey an apology. Okay, that's what we figured out. We all owe him an apology. Everybody should stop what they're doing immediately and say sorry to Jeffrey, right? Because apparently he did nothing wrong, and we've all been led to believe that he was one of the worst, right? Now, I mean, some of the things that he was accused of are satanic. But all of a sudden, after years and years and years of speculation and countless people saying that the list needs to be released and we need to know who's on it so we know who's compromised and who in our government is guilty of these heinous crimes. All of a sudden, we've been told nothing to see here, right? Those are the marching orders, and this is what we're supposed to just accept as the truth. Now, anyone with a brain can see that that's not possible. All of the evidence, the 2019 report that his injuries were consistent with strangulation and not suicide. All of a sudden, magically disappears, right? Now, Tucker Carlson actually, in this longer form clip, I think he hits the nail on the head. Let's listen in, because there's really only one logical explanation for all of this.
So let's just assess this logically. They're covering up, the DOJ, the current DOJ under Pam Bondi is covering up crimes. Very serious crimes by their own description. Mm-hmm. Why are they doing that?
Yeah.
So there are really only two potential explanations that I can think of. Maybe you've got another. The first is that Trump is involved, that, Trump is on the list, that they've got tape of Trump doing something awful. I don't believe that for two reasons. One, I've talked to Trump about it a lot. And I know him. He's not that, for whatever his sins, I don't think he's that guy, actually. I don't think he likes creepy sex stuff. That's just my view. But more, I think, convincing is that this is all information that the Biden administration had. And if there was evidence that Trump had been involved in illegal sexual activity, you think the people who made up Russiagate wouldn't have leaked it?
Right.
Come on now. So the only other explanation that I can think of, again, maybe you've got another, is that intel services are at the very center of this story, U.S. and Israeli, and they're being protected. I think that seems like the most plausible.
That's the most obvious. I have a history of this. There have been multiple documented cases of pedophilia inside of the CIA perpetrated by CIA officers, documented that in many of those cases, I believe over a dozen cases, this was a BuzzFeed news piece years back, where the CIA specifically did not want to prosecute those individuals in federal court for fear that they would reveal sources and methods if they were pulled into open court. And they basically just made it go away. The only time they actually prosecuted somebody for child pornography pornography was whenever he'd already being prosecuted for mishandling classified information.
Well, when they want to crush you, they put kiddie porn in your computer. It's why I don't have a computer. Don't own one.
Yeah, if you're an important person, you should be careful.
No computer in my house.
This is an important thing, though, is that we already have documented cases of them covering this up. I believe the CIA Inspector General, I forget the exact quote, but he said something along the lines of, you wouldn't even believe the amount of child porn, that I've seen while I'm on this job.
Again, so Tucker logically deduces what the only explanation for this could be. After years of being told how much information is available and how there's a client list and some very powerful people are on it. And, we've been led to believe JD Vance says we're going to get that information. Kash Patel says we're going to get that information. Pam Bondi says I have the information right here on my desk, ready to go. We're going to release it, right? And then they do the whole thing on the White House lawn with the theater. And then, yay, we got it. Guys, this is what you asked for, right? Bells and whistles, bells and whistles. And now, all of a sudden, it's just, right? Poof. Gone. This is ugly. Why? And that's one of the reasons why I titled this Children, Cover-Ups, and callousness. I could have put conspiracies in there too. We're talking about some of the worst crimes known to man being perpetrated on young lives, and we're supposed to just think, well, it's just forget about it, right? Forget about it. Now, it could be that Trump is being threatened. And maybe he wants to save his skin. Who knows? But we know that this is what I believe. I believe that if Trump were in those files, the left would have used that as a way to get him put away forever. They were trying everything, right? They were trying everything to get him put away. If they had the goods on him in that Epstein client list, he would have been implicated, and swept away. So do I believe he's in the files? No. What's going on, brother Derek Franklin? Welcome to everybody that's tuning in. Let me get you all in here. Let's see. Kindness Matters. Thank you. Ramon Perales. Thank you. Kindness Matters again, right? Shalom. Yeah, okay. Casey Bennell. Donald J. Plump. Yeah, none of your business. There you go. Welcome everybody. Attention deficit squirrel. GGF. Yes. Okay. Now, do I believe that Trump's in the list? No. Or was he on the list? Well, apparently there is no list. Yeah. Right. Now, that is true. It could be that they were in the files themselves, but I think they would have done whatever. I think those people would have done whatever they could have to get Trump sentenced and sent away forever, if they could have. If he was in those, the TDS on the left, if he was in those files, if there was any way they could have implicated him, if they could have gotten him put away for life, they would have done it. So that's why I don't think he's in the files. But I do believe that there is a cover up for higher ups. It could be 4D chess, but I doubt it. That he's not in them, but he's either being threatened by people that are the deep state, the people that are in there. That's one possibility, right? Or he wants to use this, and I don't know about this one. He wants to use this as a way to keep them in line. We've got the goods on you, but we're not going to release it. I don't know. What's up, brother Derek Franklin? Let me see what my brother Derek Franklin is saying, right? I'm sensitive to the possibility that the deep state has threatened Trump, Bondi, Cash, Dan B not to release the list. If that's so, they should resign or release the list. If they were truly America first, if they were truly interested in the success and promulgation of the American ideals, they would release that list. there really, if you, again, because patriots, JFK was willing to, he risked it all. He risked it all to fight against the deep state. It wasn't called that during that time, but he risked it all. So, yeah. And that's one of the reasons why he's still revered to this day. He was willing to give up his life for the good of this nation. Ask not what you can do, what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country, right? He was a patriot and gave up his life for American ideals. If the Cash Patels and the Bondis and the Ron B's and the whoever else aren't willing to do that, then are they truly America first? Right? That's the question we're asking. And the gaslighting, this is one of the most pernicious things, right? Rhinos and leftists think a lot alike. You've seen that with the interview with Tucker Carlson and what's his name? Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, when they don't want you to discover something, or you're getting too close to the truth, what do? They call you names, right? Oh, you're an anti-Semite, blah, 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 blah. So this type of gaslighting, we who are truly America first, that want the deep state to be destroyed, have recognized the playbook. And when we see it happening, we're very, very sensitive to it. We recognize it quickly, like this situation, right? Like this situation.
Sure.
Hey, Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's...
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're talking about...
been talked about for years. You're asking... We have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is...
Hello, Elsa.
Do you want to wait?
It's not unbelievable. Your administration can handle multiple things at one time. That's every presidential administration. You're telling me that we have to focus on one thing at a time? We can't ask questions. You all just released the information that there is the no files, no list, that he, after all this time, he actually did delete himself. So what? Of course we're still asking, and we're going to keep asking.
Waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. No. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Now,
yeah, sure.
people are asking, why are we interested in this? Because of what was happening to these children. Because there are still victims of those crimes that are actually alive and would like to see justice done. That's why we're still talking about this. And because they just released the information saying that, well, nothing to see here, everybody, nothing to see here. So that's why we're talking about it. It's in the news cycle. They brought it back up into the news cycle. So we're talking about it. But this is dangerous, because if we can't protect the innocents among us, why do you think that we're so keen on closing the border? Because the border is used for trafficking. People are being trafficked into the United States of America via illegal crossings. It's another reason to shut down illegal crossings at the border. Drugs coming in via the illegal crossings at the border. Terrorists coming across. This is one of the reasons why we want the border closed. And so protecting these children and all of these people that have been affected by the ring is a big deal. And that's why, and we were told that all of these things would be opened to us by this administration. It's one of the reasons. It may not have been the top reason for some people, but immigration, the economy, stopping wars, ending the deep state. These were the reasons why Trump got moderate voters in this past election. Right? That's another thing. We wanted the end, right? We wanted, well, we already got that, right? So that's why we want the deportation efforts to continue. It's our job to protect our citizens. It's the government's job to protect its citizens. Brother Derek Franklin, what's going on, brother? Let me see what you got. You'll probably address this at some point, but I'll ask anyway. Do you think this will sink Trump's presidency and legacy? It's hard to speculate about whether it will sink it, but this is going to be a black mark. If he doesn't fire, ask for Bondi's resignation or do something, because he's still praising Patel and Bondi. I'm not a fan of either one of them. I gave him the benefit of the doubt that that's who he chose, but I'm not a fan of either one of them because I don't believe that they're America first. So that's one of the reasons why we, I'm not surprised by the actions of the two of them. So it's really hard. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm still with him for the majority of the stuff that he's doing. Trump has been doing some very good things, but this is not a good one. All right. Yeah, I have not been a fan of Kash Patel and his. So I'm very wary of anyone who isn't a Christian to begin with, and who being in government, especially if they worship a false god. I'm not with them. I'm a Christian nationalist. I believe that Christ's laws and rule, we are under his authority and we need to behave as such. But I always have a side eye to anybody, even Vivek Ramaswamy. I wasn't a fan of him either, right? Yeah, and everybody keeps bringing up the 34 felony counts. Nobody really cares about leftists and their fake felony accounts. This is actually something real and tangible that we know happened, right? It wasn't just nonsense that was made up by the left. We don't care. All right. So I know you guys are really interested in that, but we still really don't care about what you all think. Leftists, we don't. This is us trying to figure out how to put pressure on the supposed MAGA first movement and get them to do what they promised, right? So now, yeah, because the left is lost, right? But this is what she's saying right after talking tough, right? Talking tough after the yeah, talking tough after
packages of concealed biological materials into the United
Hold on one second. Let's get it back to the beginning.
For sending packages of concealed biological materials into the United States. It's going to stop. FBI has opened over 100 biosmuggling investigations in recent years. We will prosecute you. We will hold you accountable. Thank you to everyone who is here today, especially Secretary Rollins, Secretary Hegseth, all of our good friends governors, my good friends Governor Huckabee, and all of us will never back down from supporting our American farmers. God bless you.
So as long as you're tough on, these people, whoever they are, right? But not against the elites who have been, we're good. So now we're looking at you, Pam Bondi. We don't believe you. Yeah, you're tough on the easy stuff. You're tough on the easy stuff. Thank you. If you could come in and like the video, thank you. We got 2,000 people watching. If we could get those likes up. Thank you. Thank you to everybody that's liking and subscribing, right? 2,000 people on. Let's get some of those likes up. Get that engagement up. All right. Now, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I'm thinking, and we already know this, that we have some very immoral people in power. These people, you don't get to that level of government for the most part without being compromised. We know this, right? We know this. You have to give up some of your morals and values, and it starts at the local level, right? I've had conversations about local politics and how local politics run, and you can go in hot pie in the sky with all these ideas about changing the system from within, but you will quickly learn that you're going to have to play ball to get anything done. And it starts at the local level, and then your ability to rise up the ranks is largely dependent upon your ability to play ball. So, right? So almost every politician that you know is compromised to a certain degree, even if they talk a good game about wanting to do things for the community. When they start off, yes, they may want to do that, but it rarely ever stays that way. And so when you see these people talking tough and, big game and everything like that, they're all compromised, right? Now, I don't know if this one's going to show up. I doubt that it will. It's going to be sensitive. Yeah, it's a sensitive content, content warning, sensitive content. But this is Dom Luker, and it's actually a picture of Epstein's corpse, right? But this is August 15th, 2019. Washington Post announced the bones that were broken in Jeffrey Epstein's neck were more typical in homicide by strangulation as opposed to self-deletion. On August 28th, 2019, it was reported that the two cameras outside of Epstein's cell had malfunctioned before his death. Right? And on January 6th, 2020, Dr. Michael Baden, the family pathologist who was hired by Jeffrey Epstein's brother, Mark, to oversee Jeffrey Epstein's Jeffrey Epstein's second autopsy claimed that the alleged noose didn't match wound on neck, which proved that he was deleted after new autopsy. So all of this information should just be discarded, right? Is that what they're telling us? That today and maybe again, maybe he's keeping these files. Maybe that's the 4D chess that the rest of us can't see, that Trump is saying, well, I know who's in them, and I'm going to keep you all accountable. You're going to do what I say. Maybe that's the 4D chess that he's playing. I just don't believe it, right? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Right? And so maybe it will sink his legacy. This is a bad look. A bad look. Make no mistake about it. Now, we can continue to fight as America first and make sure that we hold his feet to the fire. But he's in there now. Right? And we've got to deal with, there's some things that he's done with the strikes on Iran, and I didn't agree with it at the time. But if we don't have a prolonged conflict with Iran, then maybe I was wrong. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. But this one doesn't pass the smell test. Too much information we had prior to this. This has been going on for years and years and years, and everybody's been telling us that there's a list, and the right has been saying we're going to go after them, right? We're going to go after them, right? And see, Tucker mentioned it, right? This is how I think about, processed it logically as well, that Trump is either in the files or many higher ups and intelligence people are in the files, and they're either threatening him or he's using this as a tool to keep them in line. I don't think that's a bifurcation of those two possibilities, unless there's something else. You all tell me. I'm willing to entertain other options. Either Trump's in them, or there are very powerful people in them that he's trying to protect or blackmail. So I don't know. Those seem to be the two options with the separate, right, in them or protecting / third option, I guess. It doesn't look good either way. It doesn't look good either way, right? Yeah. Oh, goodness. People think I'm liberal. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Right. I'm getting both of them now, right? I'm getting both of them. I'm getting people calling me a lib, people calling me Uncle Ruckus, no relation, right? Come on. When you got both sides of the lacking in intellectual, there you go. Right. They're both, right? The libtards and the conservatards. Both of them are upset with me now. All right, I'm good with that. Right? I just want people here who are actually willing to question. This doesn't look good to the rest of us, right? Okay. Now, all right. Now we're gonna move on to some other news. Now this is actually where Trump is doing a good job, right? He is actually doing a good job of. Let me ask you. This is the question. I'm gonna ask those questions. The question for people. This is constantly something that people come in and talk about, right? They question my choice of facial hair. But my question is,
why are you gay?
Why do you care about another man's facial hair? Like, my wife likes it. Why should I change it for you? I always say that every now and then just to let people know. Like, what? Why?
Why are you gay?
Right? I don't go around worrying about other men's facial hair. 'Cause
why are you gay?
I'm not. Goodness. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. I thought that would be fun, a funny little interlude. But we've got some stuff going on in San Francisco. Yeah. All right, with the ICE riots. Let me see something. All right, so these are ICE agents and anti-ICE ICE rioters. They're attacking ICE agents outside of a facility in San Francisco. So if you are, and this is I'm all about these people getting the full force of the law brought down on them. This has been a mandate given to President Trump to deport illegal immigrants on a large scale. And people are trying to gaslight us and make it seem like we voted for just the criminal element. No, that is not what we voted for. We did not vote just for the criminal element to be deported. We voted for all illegal immigrants to be expelled from the nation. That's what I personally was voting for. I didn't care whether they were criminals or not. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Thank you. Appreciate you. If you could, like the video on your way in or dislike it, either one. So we're not looking at this and thinking, wow, we should only deport the criminal element and leave the rest of them here. So you're saying the rest that, right? I know I'm Uncle Ruckus, no relation. I get it. All right. So the element that's coming in and using our social programs, stretching us to the margins, increasing the debt. People say, well, they're working. I'm like, no, even if they were, come back legally. You can work. You can find your way here legally. Work. Huh? Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't want illegal immigrants here. There have been millions let in during the past administration. We want them. That's what we voted for. And so these people who are opposing this violently need to be dealt with. It's very simple calculus. And if you're going to stand in the way of ICE agents doing their job, then you're breaking the law now, and you should be held accountable for that. Now, we've got what's that? Yes, Karen Bass, right? Karen Bass, yeah. Okay. Now, goodness, this is Karen Bass, right? She's leaving MacArthur Park, and she's yeah.
So I am going to say,
Mayor Bass, I need to get my phone and we're departing.
Okay. All right. Mayor Bass.
Any comment, Mayor Bass?
Thank you.
Mayor Bass, any comment?
Yes, my comment is they need to leave, and they need to leave right now. They need to leave because this is unacceptable.
Who did you speak
Just
with?
wait and see.
Mayor Bass,
They will be leaving soon.
Mayor Bass, who did you speak with on the phone just now? Who did you speak with on the phone?
I had a custom.
Wow.
I am
All right.
going to say.
So apparently they were told to leave MacArthur Park. Now this was a response later on. Okay. So let's check it. All right. Who's going to?
Is not leaving LA. I don't work for Karen Bass. The federal government doesn't work for Karen Bass. We're going to be here till that mission's accomplished, as I said, and better get used to us now because this is going to be normal very soon. The federal.
All right. So he says that we're not leaving. Right. Look, I'm going to put this one up here. I like this one. I don't normally put comments up here that aren't super chats or from members or long-time subscribers, but this one's a good one. Yes, we are a country of immigrants, not illegal immigrants, right? Everybody likes to use that. We're a country of immigrants. So does that mean that we should not enforce our laws? Just let anybody in, right? Just let them all in, right? Is that what we're supposed to do? Indiscriminate of whether or not, regardless of whether or not they want to pursue the American dream, or like this book talks about, deal with be an American, right? There's a certain mindset that America, a certain set of values that America espouses. If you don't want to espouse those values, why are you coming here? Do you just want to live off of American prosperity? And that's what it seems like a lot of illegal immigrants want to do. They want to come here, make their money, send it back to family members where they came from, and then use our social services, draining our system and our prosperity, so that my children and other citizens' children won't be able to prosper in the future. Running up debt, our tax dollars being used to fund all of this nonsense. We're tired of it. And that's why we voted for Trump. Now, like we talked about earlier, this Epstein thing, though, you got to fix this. He gonna have to fix this. This has got to be, because right now we're looking at him with the side eye. It's a lot of the same gaslighting that came from the left that we're all too familiar with. They'll call you all kinds of names, right? They're in the comments right now with TDS. They're calling me all kinds of names in here because I ideologically.
And you ain't black.
I ain't black. Ideologically, I'm perfectly fine with that. That's not really something to be proud of. Being ideologically black is not a flex. And then also, right, the left has told y'all many times, and she openly admits it.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people.
Right.
No.
Right. So, yeah. And then this guy, right? Don't forget about this guy. Don't forget about our favorite Democrat, right? Lyndon Baines, right? What did he say? Everybody, it's unproven, but it sure sounds like Lyndon, right? What did he say? I'll have those N-words, those ninjas voting Democrat for 200 years. 60 down, 140 to go. Was it? Yeah, 60. It's been 60 years since he said that. Yep. Right. It's getting too uppity, right? Y'all getting too uppity. That was the problem. And that's a problem for us since they got something now they never had before. The political pull to back up their uppityness. Now we've got to do something about this. We've got to give them a little something. Just enough to quiet them down. Not enough to make a difference. The Democrat playbook exposed. Y'all keep it up. Keep it up, right?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
No, right? And then the scare tactics every year.
Put y'all back in chains.
Oh, they're going to put y'all back in chains. Why?
And you ain't black.
And you ain't black. Because if you go off the Democrat plantation, then you ain't black. Right? Then you ain't black. Okay? Now, everybody in here that's calling Trump the P word. But have y'all forgotten about Biden? About the stories about Biden? About the diary? Have y'all forgotten those stories? See, I'm a constitutional independent. I voted Republican the past 2 times, but generally I'm voting third party. So I'm not even registered as a Republican. So I go with which now I'll probably never vote Democrat because they're absolutely lunatics. They're like the left politically lunacy. So I'm not going to vote for them anymore. Now the Republicans could pull me to their side every now and then. But Yeah. Yes, I do have super chat enabled. If you want a super chat, we had one. My brother Derek Franklin dropped me one a little bit earlier, right? He dropped me a little bit earlier. Yes. I like likes. Likes help, right? We got 744 in here and 164 likes. We get those likes up. Yeah. Brother Derek Franklin dropped me one a couple of minutes ago, right? So, yeah. But apparently, people have the binary thinking of if you're not one, you're the other, right? I voted Democrat since I was registered, right? I'm black, obviously. We were taught that Democrat is the way to go, right? We were taught that if we vote Republican, that what?
They're going to put you all back in chains.
They're going to put y'all back in chains, right? There you go. They're going to put y'all back in chains. So that's what they teach us. And we're indoctrinated into that. Even though black people are conservative by nature, church-going conservative, we throw all of that away when it comes to politics because the boogeyman, the Republican boogeyman, has been taught that we've been indoctrinated into that cult and that cultish mindset since we can remember. So if you actually want to go off the plantation, they have somebody there ready, mainly the black woman, to bring you back in line. Well, namely the black woman, to bring you back in line. You won't remember they told us no voting, no vucking when they did that a couple of midterms ago, right? They're basically you don't get any loving if you vote the wrong way. This is the constant play. They're going to keep doing this as long as men fall for it. Now, the awesome thing is that a lot of black men this year or this past election started to recognize the gaslighting, started to recognize the sign language, and walked away from it. And the hope is that more and more and more black men see the nonsense and walk away from it. Don't walk to the Republican Party. Remain independent and see who's going to work for you. Who's going to work for you? Who's going to actually work for you? Right? Who's going to put in? I'll show you that yes. Oh, we got another super chat. Thank you, Dave Vasquez. Do we say Vasquez or Vasquez? You tell me. All right. Put it back up here. You're speaking the truth. Just because people want to be willfully ignorant doesn't make you wrong. Right. Glad to hear someone else that isn't just Dem versus Repub. Have a great day, my man. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that encouragement. Always helpful. Thank you for the super chat. Right. It really is that simple. And there are a lot of black content creators like Anton Daniels and Philip Scott and Boyce Watkins and the like. Men who aren't yoking themselves to either party, but are saying, what are y'all going to do for us? Okay. We're paying into this system. What are you all going to do for us? Because black people have been going along to get along with the Democrat Party for years. And LBJ says, this is the playbook. We've got to do something about this. We've got to give them a little something. A little something. Just enough to quiet them down. Right? Not enough to make a difference. All right? So, right? Now, growing up as a liberal, just by default as a black person, you don't question anything. But when I started to question things around 2012, that's when I realized these two don't, like, my Christian beliefs don't match with Democrat policies. And then I started to read books on how Christians formed their political theory, and none of it matched with what I was being told. Thank you for the super chat. Let me stop this. Here we go. All right. Yes. Gordy Bro. Here we go. I'm not left or right. I'm an American. Thank you. Founding fathers fathers predicted that having parties would tear America apart. They were right. You are exactly right, because the two-party system was not in the vision of the founding fathers, right? It's another really good book. I keep pointing it out, but it's a really great book. You should read this book, A Patriot's History of the United States. Very good book, thick book, right? If you like big books, okay, I would say read that one. It's a very good book, okay? Now, yeah, growing up as a black American, you just assume, right? Well, yeah, you just assume to be Democrat. When you start to think, like, oh man, and you're willing to challenge the status quo, and then people are, then when you start to ask questions and you see the reaction of your family, friends, and ethnic compatriots, like, why are y'all so, what's the word? Loyal to a party that has essentially told you that they're not going to do anything for you. They're just going to give you a little bit. Symbolism. That's what they do. And so you get into this, and I know I'm off script a little bit. I got my rundown over here, right? This is my rundown. So the name of the book, I'm going to put the link to the book in the description. Patriots. History of the United States. I'm going to put the name of the book in the description. Here it is. You can go to Amazon and buy it, right? Well, where is it? It's the Amazon version. It's right down there. There we go. Is that it? There you go. Wait, is this it? Oh, that's a big, yeah. That's the audio book. I'm going to put the paperback in there. There you go. Oh, my goodness. There you go. Book details. I don't know what that was. Paperback. Here you go. Hold on one second. There you go. Yeah, my sons were reading it, and then I said I gotta read this book too. This is a really good book. Yeah. All right. So now let's keep moving on, right? Because we talked a little bit about Karen Bass. I'm not going to go too far because she led into another topic, right? But I'll post this link as well. This is the LGB, yes, the LGB quote. Okay, now this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk a little bit about the Texas flood. We're going to look at some responses to it. Okay, now let's keep going. Okay, so Abby Phillip. Well, let's start with old Jasmine Crockett because she's our favorite, right? Not a week can go by without us, without Jasmine giving us something worth talking about. Here we go.
So anyway, I just wanted to jump on because my heart is truly heavy for all of these families. The sad part is I think that my heart is going to carry a level of weight that will continue to weigh me down as we have to continue to do our best to survive an administration that literally is against us. An administration that is doing everything, in my mind, to hurt us and not help us. And it feels like we're fending for ourselves.
So the hardest part about this is that the hardest part about the Texas floods and the young people that have lost their lives and everyone that's lost their lives and lost loved ones. The hardest part for her is that she's going to have to carry in her heart the truth that this administration doesn't care for us. That's the hardest part. Not that these people lost their daughters. That's not the hard. It's not the hardest part, right? It's how this affects her. Gotcha. There you go. Like it just you
can't make this up.
You can't. I don't understand why. What possesses these people to get online and to continually put their foot in their mouths? What's going on, Brother Chuck? Yes. What's going on, Brother Chuck? Thank you, Chuck in there. Go ahead, Chuck's in there doing his Veritas 93. Yes. So all this does is raise her social credit score with loony leftists. And there's been a profound silence from the top level leftists on the Epstein situation. Can you all point to me? I mean, maybe I haven't seen it, but have any of these top level leftists come out to excoriate Trump and Bondi and Patel for the Epstein cover-up? Because it seems like they're pretty quiet. Now, don't get me wrong. The left, the populist left, or the leftist people, yes, like you go to your Occupy Democrats and the like, and they're and the people in my comments and everybody, yeah, they're all against this. But your leaders, have you heard them come out with scathing indictments on the cover-up? Have you? I don't know. I'm asking. Put them in the chat. Put it in the chat. I'll go find it. Okay. Yes. All right. Because they don't have a problem calling out every other thing. They didn't have a problem. They don't have a problem calling out ICE, the raids in ICE. They don't have a problem calling out his handling of Iran, Israel. They don't have a problem calling out his handling of Ukraine, the economy, anything, the Texas flood response. They're very, very vocal about these things, but they're eerily silent about the Epstein client list. Does it make you, that maybe it doesn't make y'all wonder? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't make y'all wonder. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. If you could like the video, I appreciate you. Thank you for the Jathleen. Thank you for the comment about the bow tie. I appreciate that. I got to buy some more. I have a lot that were gifted to me, and I have some in an Amazon list that I need to just start plucking them off, right? I need to get some more. Want to get some more. So, and then she's not the only one, right? Let's go back to the list. Going back to the rundown, okay? So on the rundown, we also have Abby Phillip. Well, you know what? Remember this lady from yesterday? I was supposed to put her in here, but she was just too vulgar. Well, guess what I did? Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I did a version of the video that I could use on the channel, right? Here, let's listen into what we've been hearing. Well, hold on. Brother Derek Franklin has said something. We got to check it out, right? All right. Prescient's observation about the Dems being eerily silent about, it wasn't mine. I heard somebody else say it, but yeah, I'm not going to pretend to be original. If I take it from somebody, I'm going to, right. And that's it. Somebody said it. They're supporting each other because they're all in the same.
I'm going to say it because y'all scary as and I don't give a Them little girls, them people died because of racism, not politics. Boom, I said it. I don't give a And I said no. Nope. Because more YT people will have to DIE in order for mother to what? CARE. I said what the I said. I don't give a and minds are here with me. We voted the correct way.
Oh.
You reap what you sow. Just the night before the flash flood happened, y'all were okay with motherfuckers being stripped away from their mother families and never seeing them again. People being deported. Y'all were okay with that. Be okay with not finding Sarah Lou. Be okay with not finding Billy. Be okay with never seeing them again. Keep that same energy because I'm here for it. I am so here for it. Because I've been reading the comments and the y'all be saying. Y'all didn't give a when it was brown people. We sorry that it's white people now, but that's going to happen. This is going to be a repetitive cycle going to happen over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until y'all get tired. Racism cost y'all more than y'all thought. Racism wrote What's that that line? Racism wrote a check that your couldn't cash. Yeah, racism wrote a check that couldn't cash. And guess who's paying for it? Okay.
So apparently, right? Crazy eyes with the rings in the face, right? Rings in the cheek. What is that? What is this? What is it supposed to be a sign of? The rings in the cheek like that. Like she got those crazy eyes and the, you know. I'm sorry. That you're not sorry. You're absolutely not sorry that those children are no longer with us. You're just like that Sadie Perkins person. Y'all are out here cheering for and celebrating the death of young girls because you think that they're future white supremacists. I've even seen that they were future white supremacists. So these little girls that are at a camp just enjoying some time with their friends, these people say that they somehow deserve this because of the way their parents voted. Is that so? And then she's essentially invoking the divine, saying this is going to keep happening over and over and over again. That some kind of way, this is all God getting them for the way they voted, or the ancestors, or whatever. I don't know what she believes. But my goodness. Yes, thank you. If you could like the video on your way in. Thank you to everybody that is tuning in right now. I appreciate you. Yes. Right. Okay. So they say cheek piercings give dimples. All right. See, I didn't know that. I don't really deal with women who have cheek piercings or lip piercings or nose piercings or anything like that. I don't know what tongue piercings, none of that stuff. I don't deal with that. But see, I learned something new today. Thank you to the person who what is that? What do they call that these days? That hit me to game. I don't know what that is. I don't even speak slang. I'm sorry. Even that is beyond my yeah. So yes. Right. I'm Uncle Ruckus, no relation, right? I'm a hater. I'm gonna keep hating on y'all. Yes, but but it's unfortunate, right? That she thinks that this is sad. Like she thinks it. She doesn't think that this is sad. She is absolutely sad that these people get online and they just. There it is. Put me on game. Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, I don't speak slang, right? I act my age. Like that woman in here just said it. I am pushing 50. I act my age. I don't speak slang. I don't. People come in and say stuff to me and it's like, that may have been an insult. I don't know. You're going to have to speak English if you want to insult me. Unless maybe other people will get it though. I don't know. But yeah, I don't speak slang. I try my best to speak speak English. Yes. All right. So, but this response was not isolated. We showed multiple other responses yesterday. We're not going to go over all of them, but Abby Phillip had one. But let's see how inconsistent they are. Look at 2024. This will highlight some of their hypocrisy. All right. Here we go. Abby Phillip in this, and this, you're going to see this, right? In the comments as well.
Why does Donald Trump continue to insist on politicizing the storm? The only person making an accusation that people are not getting what they've asked for is Trump. The only person who is politicizing this is Donald Trump. He's the one guy doing it. The doge of it all was essentially all the things that the federal government is spending money on for the most part is waste and fraud. But clearly there are some things where spending money saves lives, and it may not save lives in the moment that you spend it, but at some point, somebody's life, somebody's child could have been saved. Why does Donald?
So, hey, Inania, long time no see. How have you been? Thank you, Patrick. Sullins, the Imperial Hulk. Thank you for subscribing. I need to read those. I need to be reminded to read the new subscribers, the new public subscribers. Every time someone subscribes, I want to stop and do that. Thank you to you for subscribing. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed recently. Our subscriber numbers have been blooming, whatever it is, over the past week and a half, because I'm posting more, and you guys are enjoying it, or you guys are hating it. Either one, but you keep coming back. I appreciate that. Right now, I'm still, guys. So we're not talking about Epstein anymore, but this is I'll give you the rundown of what we talked about. We looked at Tucker and Tucker's logical deduction that either Trump's in the files and that's why the cover up is happening. Tucker doesn't believe that for two reasons. One is because he actually knows Trump. Well, I don't know him, but it is what it is. And he doesn't see that as being Trump's character. The second is that he believes if there would have been any indication that Trump was in it, or any indictment that the left could have I'm looking at the rundown. If the left could have gotten him out of the way using that, they would have. Right. And then the second reason is that what I actually believe is that there are some very powerful people in the list, and Trump is either being threatened or is threatening the list, either being threatened to not release it or threatened with that if he releases it, he will be like JFK, essentially. So those are I come down on the second one, because I do believe that the left would have done anything that if they had that information on him during the Biden administration, they would have gotten rid of him quickly, right? So I still don't like the cover up. Neither of those. Zen Space, thank you for subscribing. I still don't like either of those outcomes. If Trump is in the list, like, if he's hiding it, if he's hiding the list because he's afraid, what are you scared of? You're America first? Like, now you're going to be afraid? You already dodged one bullet, literally, when the left was coming after you and the deep state wanted you dead. Maybe he's not ready to, maybe he's too old. Maybe he doesn't want to fight like he was, the last time. Okay. Now, but even the other one, if he's using it as a tool, 4D chess tool to make these people stay in line, still don't like it. There's nothing about this that I like. Nothing. No outcome is a good one. Now, Brother Derek Franklin asked a very good question. Do I think that'll be to sink his legacy? I don't know. And guys, if you definitely want your question up, form up a super chat. I generally only answer questions from long-term subscribers, moderators, or members, because I can't keep up with the questions in the chat. There's sometimes upward of 2,000 people, and then like right now there's been 2,000 messages. I can't keep up with all of that. I know everybody thinks I see, and I'm not talking about, I know the people who are antagonists think I see every message. I can't run a show and look at every message, right? I know you're hoping that I see it because you want to insult me or you want to say something mean to me. I get it, right? But even to the people that are asking thoughtful questions, you will definitely get it on the screen if you super chat, and it doesn't matter what amount. It could be 49 cents, 99 cents, whatever it is. I'll put it on the screen, right? But that helps me to see who's actually has some skin in the game and actually wants their question answered in a thoughtful way. Thank you, Dominic Palacio, for subscribing. Appreciate you. Yes. All right. Now, yeah. Now, let's see. Here we go. Okay. Now, let's see. All right. So we've got Abby Phillip. We talked about ICE, Texas flood responses. Now, there's a lot of things going on. We're going to move on to some. Let's look at this. We're going to talk a little bit about this. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Yes, this has been very popular. we're going to talk a little bit about some fatigue. All right. But this lady has made an appearance on my show in the past. She's back. Okay, we're going to change the yes, we're going to change this to let's see, hold on one second. Yes, I forgot to add this one. We're going to do this. I needed one more, yes. All right, hold on one second. All right, so we're going with Ratchet Fatigue. All right. So for anyone wondering where your tax dollars go, this is it. You support my kids, my nails, lashes, BBL, Botox, all of my bills. So thank you.
To everybody telling me that I need to go get a job so I can support my 6 kids, no, sweetheart, that's your job. That's why you go to work every single day, okay? 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's why you work on Christmas. That's why you work on Halloween. That's why you're not with your kids through the week, because you're at work supporting my kids. Like, that's how it works. That's how government benefits work. So when you were born, you either decided to be the giver or taker. You either contribute to society or you take from society. I am a taker. You are the giver. It's just how it works. Maybe in your next life, you can be the taker too, or you can decide halfway through your life that you don't want to be a giver anymore. Quit your job. Get on government welfare. That's what it's there for. I'm not going to apologize for it. I've been on it for 13 years. I will be on it for the rest of my life. Okay? I make more than somebody with a 5-year college degree. I make more than somebody with a college education, if that tells you anything. Love you.
So, wow. And the sad thing is that she posted it. Now, she's made an appearance on my... She said she makes more. You don't make more. You don't earn anything. You just said you're a taker. We earn, you get. This is insane, right? And she's putting herself out there with this. Like you said, you just can't make it up. You can't make this up. You can't make... They're proud. Proud to be useless. Proud to have 6 kids. Proud to be taking advantage of people who actually work. There's no shame. And we have incentivized this, right? I just want some money. She just wants some money. That's it. She gonna get it how she can. But at least she's honest, right? At least she's honest. There are a lot of people who are down with what she's selling. She's not alone, right? She is not alone. Let's see if we got some more. We got some more EBT queens, right, to take a look at. But so we got another one. We got another EBT queen. It crosses ethnicities, everybody, right? This is how we do it. Here we go.
What me and my kids gonna do? I only got $60 in my food. They cut my food stamps to $60. What me and my kids gonna do? Like, that's crazy. I looked at my thing. It say $60. What is that? I got about 6 kids. What is that gonna do $60? Like, you got to be kidding me right now. Like, I am so tight right now. I really is pissed off.
I'm still on the, she has about 6 kids. Can we get an exact number? Maybe. About 6. It's like plus or minus 2. What is it? What are we talking about? I don't know. How do you have about 6 kids? I know exactly how many kids I have. It's not like pennies in a jar. It's not like jelly beans in a jar where you guesstimate. You should either know, you know how many kids you have. Oh, goodness. I'm stuck on that. Besides the nonsense of her thinking that everybody is supposed to pay, like, oh yes, my $60. How am I supposed to feed my kids on $60? It's called a job. It's called a job. That's how I feed my kids. That's how I feed my kids, with my job, with the money, right? The money that I make, the money that I earn, it feeds my children. That's what we do. So we earn money. We earn it and then we spend it. It's really easy to get a job. My goodness. Yes? I don't know. Now, we're going to listen. The Ratchet Fatigue is on, it's on another level. Okay? Let's look at this one. Now, some of these women, right? This is what she'll do if she doesn't get it, well, if she's capable of it, because I don't think her type is. But all right, let's see. Now, the cool thing is, okay, this is cool. Now, the readers adding context is cool. Okay, but look at this: Dwight Howard, former NBA All-Star, should have been top 75, right? Defensive Player of the Year. I think multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year. Brought the Orlando Magic to the finals. Won the bubble ring with the Lakers. Just got married 6 months ago. And his wife is filing for divorce after 6 months. And requesting a 50-50 split of his assets and property. And is also seeking alimony. Now, readers have added context, right? GA of Georgia is an equitable distribution state. Only marital property, earnings, and assets gained after their January 11th, 2025 wedding can be split. Pre-marriage wealth is separate. A 50-50 split won't hand her half of his fortune. That's good. Now, unfortunately, 6 months, y'all, for real? Right? And she just went in, I guess.
I just want some money.
What did she find out in 6 months that would cause her to want to divorce him? I don't know. We'll find out, but we'll keep abreast of this situation, and we'll figure out what it is. Don't forget to like the video on your way in if you could. Thank you. And subscribe if you like what you're hearing. But this is a part of the problem. Now, if women, and I actually posted this to my profile, and I actually said something, right? I said something about this. Hey, look, I'm live, right? I'm live on X. All right? So I said 50% after 6 months of work, right?
I just want some money.
She just wants some money, right? I said 304-flation is out of control. If she gets it, and black women condone or celebrate it, then black men need to get passports ASAP. Just don't even. If black women if they celebrate her taking 50% of his money and assets right away after 6 months, black men just go get your passports and just go, right? Just go find you somebody in another country. Yeah. Yep. Right. Yep. Yeah. I mean, marriage in America is a bad deal. It's a bad deal for men, right? Because you're the one that is liable. The court system, the family court system, will take you through the ringer, right? You will be responsible. So, yeah, I'm not. I want my sons to get married, but man, it's starting to look like where are they going to find someone worthwhile marrying, because most black women are leftists. They're Democrat. 92% of them are Democrat. So that's 92% are off the table. So I don't know. Yeah. So we got another idiot in the chat. Anybody want to answer this fool? Anybody? I just want to put this one up there. Any of my long-term subscribers want to answer that fool? Yeah. All right. So, that's a great question, right? This is another good question. I'll answer this one, right? Now, no, personally, I wouldn't, because I'm married happily, right? I'm happily married. So, yeah. So I don't really, yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't, yeah. So my wife and I, we have, a family, multiple kids. We're raising them. It's called the Developing Dad Podcast for a reason, right? So, yeah. So, yeah. Now, I couldn't have put developing husband because it didn't work. D, right? But, yeah. Look, somebody. Yeah. So, personally, I'm not going to do that because I'm married. But if a brother wants to, if a man wants to marry, so this is my admonition and teaching when I talk to Christian men about this: marry the person in Christ who you find that is willing to help you to build a heritage and to raise a godly seed, right? And is on the same path as you, right? Who's willing to be shepherded by someone who most likely has been raised in a 2-parent household, right? That helps. If you haven't been, then you all have to learn a lot together. But just having seen someone in the context of marriage makes a lot of difference. My parents have been married for almost 50 years, right? So, yeah. So that was something that I saw. Obviously, they're not perfect. I'm not perfect. My marriage isn't perfect. Their marriage isn't perfect. But it is an example that you can't replicate in any other way, shape, or form, right? So, but I'm like, just, it doesn't, I know that, and again, you have to be honest about you have to be honest about how the world is going to interact with you and the challenges that your marriage will face. Marriage is hard enough without extra external pressures coming from people who hate you on the face of your marriage and things like that. But if you're willing to walk through that with the person and the other person is willing to walk through it with you, go for it. I'm not going to tell anybody not to marry. Like even my sons, daughters, if they marry someone of a different ethnicity, as long as they're in Christ, then we're going to help. Yeah. We're going to help them to be married successfully. Right. Yeah. So, yes. Yeah. But I would tell them, don't marry a Democrat. Don't marry a woman who's, don't marry anybody who's pro-choice. There are certain things that I would tell them. Don't marry a man that can't take care of you. Don't marry a woman who's, who just, right.
I just want some money.
Marry an intelligent woman, but don't marry a woman who puts all of her pride into,
I'm a PhD.
Right, into her attaining certificates from indoctrination centers. There's so many things that I actually have in my rundowns and in my notes, videos that I want to produce in the future about helping men and young women to choose spouses wisely. But, I don't want to give all the way. I do mostly reaction videos in this format. And then in the other format, the wide format, is where I do my teaching stuff. So, because I don't like to bog this down. People come to the verticals to get reactions, things like that. They want entertainment. So that's what I'm giving them here. Right. But I do a lot of teaching stuff as well for members and then for, yeah. Right. Yeah. Anyway. So All right. All right. Now, anyway, let's keep on moving. Right. Now, yes, 92% of women would be disqualified. Yes, black women especially. For my sons, absolutely. Yeah, we don't do the Democrat thing around here. Yeah, my wife's not one. Neither am I. Yeah, you can't be about, and that's one of the crazy things. You can't be about black excellence if you support the wholesale slaughter of black children in the womb. That those two things just don't go together. All right, let's listen into this one. All right, we're gonna talk about this. This is more on the lines, and we'll be done in a few. Let's see. Hold on one second. Let me pull this back up. The stuff is going all over the place now. Now, this is interesting. I think you all might like this one. Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to change I think this one is, yes, it's a Feminism Fatigue. Yes. Oof. Yes. All right, here we go. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit because it's a 2-minute video. Let's do 1.2.
I think I owe the men of the world an apology. Let me explain before you come in my comments. I always think to myself, why don't men just approach women? Why? It's not that hard. Just say hi. Just say hi. Your hair is pretty. It's not that hard, right? Well, last night I learned it is hard, okay? And let me tell you what happened. So I'm just sitting at the bar with my buddies, just having a fun time, and in walks some men who were attractive. One in particular, I was like, wow, he's very handsome. So I'm chatting with my friends who are all male in this conversation, and I'm like, what do I do? Because I don't really approach men ever, but I also don't ever get approached. So anyway, I'm thinking to myself, how bad could it be? So they suggest I send him a drink. And I'm like, brilliant. Oh my gosh, I've never done that before. That's so smart. So I sent him his drink of choice, which was a Corona with lime. Whatever, should have known. Anyway, so some time goes by, and he has not acknowledged that I've sent this drink. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just go over there. I walk up and I say, hey, how's your beer? You know, I like bat my eyelashes, you know. And he looks at me and he goes, oh, you sent this? Yeah, I did. It was me. And then he said nothing. 0 words exchanged. And you know that gif of Britney Spears where she's like holding her purse and she's just standing there looking around like this? That was me in real life. And we just stared at each other. And I said, okay, enjoy your night. And then I had to turn around and march my way back to my little bar stool, just wrapped in rejection. And now I have to think about that for the rest of my life. So, gentlemen, I'm sorry. That shit sucked.
All right, well, you sent the drink, right? And you got rejected. She says, well, she's sorry, guys. She didn't know it was so hard for us to walk over to a woman, not knowing whether or not she'd be interested and dealing with rejection. Men have to deal with rejection all the time. I got rejected a lot. It is what it is. And then I got my one flesh. So I'm good. But you have to learn how to deal with that. Now, women aren't used to that. Now, obviously, she's going to have to get used to that because as she's gotten, you know, she looks a little bit older. She might be a little bit younger than me. So she's probably a little bit younger than me. But she doesn't have the assets of someone who could just walk around and, you know. Let's say she's not in the danger zone. I don't know where she is age-wise. But I do know that after a certain age, men aren't going to keep checking for you. And so you're going to have to put a little bit more work in this than just sending a drink over. You're going to have to work harder. Maybe that guy's like, well, you know what? I'm not interested. I've got someone else in the pipeline, right? He didn't even get, that was somebody. Yes, hitting the wall. There it is, Elsa. Right, she hit the wall, right? Right, yeah. Men get rejected in mass via social media. The danger zone, right? Hitting the wall. Danger zone, right? Yeah. Men get rejected in mass, right? Like we're getting told we're ugly off rip, right? And isn't that one of those things off rip, right? Y'all tell me if I'm trying to step my slang game up.
So
Say
as
that
we're
10 times
all
fast.
very much aware, we are living through a chopped man epidemic, and there's a big shortage of baddies. It's gone so bad to the point that, like, if I see an attractive man, it genuinely makes my day. I was walking on the sidewalk earlier, and I saw a cute guy in his car, so I waved to him, and he smiled back at me. And obviously he drove away after that, but I was like, oh my God, a cute guy? This was at 6:50 p.m. It's 7:17, and I'm still like, oh my God. And I feel like this is going to power me through my evening. Like, wow, I actually saw an attractive man today. Like, diamond in the rough, needle in the haystack. Seriously.
So, see, we're ugly, apparently, like all of us. I'm chopped man. And again, I'm fine with that. I know I'm probably like a 4, a 3, or a 4. I don't care, right? Because I'm already married. But she's all of us off rip, right? She's walking around in this chopped man. All of us, we're just ugly. There's an epidemic. Oh, and thank you to, I forget the last person who subscribed, but thank you to I can't say that. Chris, I couldn't say it fast enough, but thank you for subscribing. Everybody that subscribes publicly, I will shout you out, right? But we were in the middle of a video. I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to subscribe. For some reason, this number's not going up. Let's see. I've been getting public subscriptions, but that number's not going up. Let me see something. I'm going to check this out. You know why? Because it signed me out. So the number wasn't going up. All right. So this is where we actually are. I didn't get a chance to celebrate hitting 9,000, y'all. Thank you to everyone. Man. We were trying to hit 9,000 by the end of the month. We're already there. Thank you to everybody that's subscribing. Man, I can't thank you all enough. I was supposed to have a graphic ready for when this happened, like the little fireworks celebration. But still, y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. All right, thank you. All right. People that keep saying that I'm married. Don't worry. Thank you, Johnny 5. Thank you, Johnny 5, right? Now, so we're all chopped. Off rip, she says, right? There's an epidemic of chopped men. We're all awesome. I mean, ugly. Sorry. Thank you, Phantom Wolf. Yes. Yes. Yay. Thank you, Indonia. See, Indonia's been with me since 2022, I think. Yeah. 2022. She was one of those people that came in from the 200 to 2000. Yes, she's been in here for a while. Appreciate you, right? So thank you to everybody. She's here to celebrate. Y'all are with me from the bottom, and we taking it to the top. Come on. And Chuck has been around since I was doing stuff on Blab and Periscope. Y'all remember them? Whoo! Chuck has been around since then. So he's seen my kids grow up. Chuck has been around since before my 2 daughters were here, right? Wow. Yes. Oh, yeah, we live, Brother Caleb. Come on. We live. Yes. All right. Yeah, we taking it to the top, y'all. We got the next goal, 10,000. That's it. We're going to do 10,000 by the end of the month. That's the new goal. I appreciate everybody that's come. Y'all don't even understand the antagonists. Y'all drive engagement. Even when you come in. Why y'all think I'm not blocking you? I'm not going to block you. Why would I block you? If you keep commenting, your commenting helps the algorithm. Even if it's hate comments, keep it up. Right? Keep it up. You're helping me to reach my goal. Right? I'm monetizing your hatred. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. Yeah. Man, this room has got a lot of stuff in it. You got books over here, like theology, all kinds of stuff over here. I got music books over there. I got a keyboard right here. 5 guitars over there. Yes. Yeah, man. All right, let me get to that super chat. That was a really great question. Here we go. All right. Keep on, brother. If you're taking flack, it means you're over the right target. Exactly. That's what all my military friends tell me. They always give me that advice, right? That's what they tell me. You must be over the target because you're taking flack. And I have a lot of military friends. My wife is military, and then we have a former military, and Yeah, we're around a lot of people who are former military. Yes, so that's it right there. Boom. Yes. He said it. Look, I'm going to put this one up here. I normally don't put anything up here but super chats and from long to, but he said liberal tears are just fuel. That's it. That's it. Now, because the TDS is real. All right. So here we go. All right. Now we're going to keep pushing because that chopped man epidemic. I know, guys, we're just ugly. Right. But our job is not to be pretty, is it? Yeah, our job is not to be pretty. Our job is to be providers. That's what our duty is. We're supposed to provide for those who are under our care. Right? That's one of the reasons why I do this podcast. I use the money from this podcast to invest. Because all my bills are paid, right? And we invest with other money, but I like little side investments and I'll use this money to invest. Now, it's really, yeah. This is negligible. Yeah. Right? This is negligible money, right? It's not there yet. It's going to get there, right? Well, we can pay bills with YouTube. Now, oh yes, y'all. Oh, we got some more. We got to do these last two. I think y'all are going to really enjoy these two. Mandy Rose, thank you for 89. Thank you for tuning. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. All right. Because I don't want to lose steam. I know sometimes I get sidetracked, but we're not going to lose steam. All right. We're not going to lose steam. Where is this? Where's the, we'll just do this. Loony leftist fatigue. We'll call it here. We'll call it there. All right. We'll call it loony leftist fatigue. But listen to these people. Okay. This is Becky Pringle. Okay. Becky Pringle. All right. She's the president of the nation's largest teachers union, speaking at a leadership summit. Here we go. Listen in, but maybe you won't cover your ears a little bit.
Not ever, not one election, not all the elections. We will stand. We will stand. Not ever, not
Thank
one
you,
election,
Elsa.
not all the elections.
Right? So she's unhinged. This is a leadership summit for education. Right? Leadership summit, day one. Would you want this person anywhere near your child's education? Educare. Educate from the Latin educare, to lead out, which means to lead. Classically speaking, education is supposed to lead you to the true, the beautiful, and the good. You think this woman is going to lead your children to that? Why do you think, and this is another one, why do you think that they're trying to get to your children as early as possible with the indoctrination into the LGBTQ cult, socialism, hatred of America, globalism? They're starting earlier and earlier and earlier. Yes, homeschooling is looking good. That's why we homeschool our kids. Because they recognize that those things implanted into your children at the outset are things that will be almost impossible to root out. They know this, which is why they are trying. Here's another tip, right? Another clip. Sorry, I said tip. Here we go. We're going to bring this one up so we get a chance to look. Why is it going to that browser? It keeps going to that browser. I'm telling it to not go to that browser, but it keeps wanting to. Okay, here you go. Watch this. They're admitting it. This is a Socialism 2025 conference. They're going to admit it. Listen in.
I left higher education and work in a high school now. So everyone who raised your hand and said that you got radicalized in college, imagine if you got radicalized 4 years earlier. Okay? I left higher education.
I'm gonna let her say it again, just in case y'all missed it.
I left higher education and work in a high school now. So everyone who raised your hand and said that you got radicalized in college, imagine if you got radicalized 4 years earlier. Okay?
They want to radicalize your children. And they're not even trying to hide it anymore. They want everything that you have. They're not producing children. They want your money in the form of tax dollars. They want your children so that they can indoctrinate the next generation, so that they can push their agenda further into the next generation, because they're not having kids but they're going to take yours. They're going to radicalize them and cause them to get gender affirming surgeries so that they're unable to procreate, thereby cutting off your line, but your child is now indoctrinated into the cult. The socialism is the ideology of the parasite. We need to be just as radical in opposition with our teachings as they are with theirs. Get married, have kids, and have lots of them. Homeschool your children. Don't give them devices or unfettered access to the internet for years until they're capable of self-discipline and self-control. Don't let any of these leftist devices that are meant to destroy what is true, beautiful, and good into your home. But people are willing, they're like, well, nah, we can give them a little bit. We can give them a little bit. And then they won't. Yeah. I've never seen a child given unfettered access to a device and they come out of it more articulate, well-read, well-studied, and more capable. It's always going to be a fight if you're essentially doing two things that compete against each other. If you want them to be articulate, well-studied, well-read, and talented and virtuous, but you give them access to a device that gives them the ability to, on the face of it, be undisciplined, absorbed, and mentally unstimulated, you can't have both of them. What's going on? Let me see. It's lunch. My wife just brought me lunch. It's going to be delicious. All right. She's the best. I love that woman. All right, so public schools are radical experimental indoctrination farms that are designed to wreck the lives of its students. Well, there you go. He said it. That gets favorited. That's right on top, right? That's right on top. Thank you, brother. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. See, he knows what's going on. Let's see. How long have we been on? 137? All right, we might do one more, and I'm going to eat my lunch. Right? What's going on, brother Anthony Allen? Right. Yes, driving and listening. Yes, thank you. And then, yes, Phantom Whoop, she is a keeper. You're right about that. You are right about that. She is a keeper. Right? There you go. Okay, so let's take a look at, let's take a look at the, all right. So all of you that are talking about the beard, this is my question to you.
Why are you gay?
Yeah, why are you gay? Right? He's worried about my beard. That's a very, that's essentially a black community thing. Right? They appearance is really important. Peacocking to black men, I never really subscribed to it. I haven't. I'm not going to start either. I'm almost 50. I'm not going to start today. I've never really cared. Yeah. So thank you, love. Yeah. Right. I'm not going to start today worrying about how black men look at me. Like that's gay. I don't care. It's like y'all go into another man's stream looking at like his face and worried about how he looks. I mean, just the question.
Why are you gay?
Yeah, that's the question. All right, so let's see. See, again, that's all they care about, right? Right? Let's see. Okay, if you say so. All right, so let's look at this last one, and I'm going to eat my lunch. Let's see. We had that one. Well, I think we did that. We might end it right here. I was supposed to talk about TD Jakes stepping down. I might leave that alone. Leave that for another video. I did the Ratchet Fatigue. I did that Hard for God Chop Man. 6,200 losers. Let's do this one. All right. We'll go back to this one, and then we'll be done. Right. Let's do this, and then we'll be done. We'll be done for the day. All right. So we got 15 seconds. We're going to talk about this. Okay. All right. So we got this. Feminism Fatigue. Right. Here we go. So she says she met. All right. Me after Bumble reveals the 6,200 plus men that swiped right on me, and I still can't find one decent one. This is her. She's sad. She's so sad. She's so sad. She's so sad. Oh, no. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. She's so sad, guys. 6,200 men can't find a good one because she's not looking for she's looking for what? A look? Is that what she's looking for? Not provision, now how old is she? This is the question we should be asking. Right? She's this guy says she's average. She looks like she could be in her late 30s. What do y'all think? Yeah, late 30s. You know what? Let's talk about it. Let's do this. Okay? Let's do this. We're going to talk about TD Jakes stepping down. We're going to talk about TD. And then we'll finish. We'll finish with that. Okay? Yeah, because old TD stepped down. Yes. All right. Maybe y'all didn't know, but TD Jakes steps down. All right? TD Jakes steps down. Okay? That would be a better way to end it. All right? So, about a few months ago, he announced it that he was going to step down. Right? Here we go.
And like it or not, and some things I like about it, some things I don't, the world is changing. Now at ILS, our theme was the changing of the guard. I'm thinking probably by the church anniversary, we're going to formalize. But I wanted to introduce to you your pastors.
So that's his daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts, I think, and Toure Roberts. Now, people have been wondering, right? They're wondering if it's linked to his possible involvement in the Diddy scandal. And then he also had a health episode prior to this, right? He actually on stage live had a heart episode. Okay. Now, unfortunately, the decision that he made is an unbiblical one. Now, TD Jakes, I've done videos on him in the past and his shifting stance on LGBTQ, at the church, that when he was interviewed by Mark Lamont Hill years and years ago. But the problem is he has aberrant theology, which leads him to aberrant lifestyles, right? So even if it came out that he was involved in Diddy parties and everything, it wouldn't be a surprise because bad theology normally, almost every time, is followed by bad practices. So yes, I wouldn't be surprised if he was on the Diddy tapes, but because he holds to aberrant theological views. He's a modalist. He also just installed his daughter. Right. And the switch actually happened. Right. So I'll show you that. Here it is. They actually did the switch. Right. So they were installed a couple of weekends ago, I think. Let me just pull it up. Right. A couple of weekends ago, they were installed. Okay. All right. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah. So they were installed by TD himself. Was that 2 days ago? Okay. Yeah. So they're going to be co-pastors. Now, if you know what 1 Timothy 2:12 says, she is ineligible for the pastorate. He's probably already unqualified, but she's ineligible based on chromosomes alone, because the Bible clearly teaches that that's not the place for a woman, right? I know. I'm such a feminist. Right? I'm such a feminist. I'm such a good feminist, right? Okay. And so, yes, his aberrant theology, it's to be expected that he would compromise. You heard what he said in that video. He said things are changing. He may not like it, but the world is changing. So the problem with T.D. Jakes is that the next statement out of his mouth should have been, the world is changing, but Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Hebrews 13:8. And in his church, we hold fast to his word. But no, he is going to change with the wind. Because again, if you go back to that video with Mark Lamont Hill years and years ago, right? I'll find it for you. T.D. Jakes, Mark. I reviewed this for another, right? For another, where is it? So this is on Mark's channel. He actually re-uploaded the video, I think, and I'll put it in the chat, right? Or he actually, yeah, this video. I forget exactly when it was. When was this? Yeah, he probably says it, but I reviewed this for another channel a long time ago, and he compromises there as well. See, it signed me out again. What is the deal with that thing? Keep signing me out. Anyway, right. But we're gonna end it right there because I want to get to my lunch. All right. I appreciate everybody for rolling with me for this long. But yes, T.D. Jakes stepping down is a good thing. The unfortunate thing is who he put in place. They're just going to continue the same nonsense. T.D. Jakes has made untold sums of money off of pandering to women. And that is the grift. In the black church, you can make a killing pandering to women. Pandering to, a lot of times, women without husbands, or women with husbands who use the pastor as a bludgeon to cause division in their household. It's one of the reasons why I have videos of, yeah, you may not recognize, but I have videos discussing the problems in the black church and how I do not advocate for any black man to attend a black church site. Like, before you attend one, you got to do some vetting. Because most of them are not going to help you to grow spiritually. They're going to keep you locked into a theology that'll keep you struggling. And most of them are just mouthpieces for the Democrat Party. You will continue to be indoctrinated into that cult. The women there will continue to use their wiles and their lower parts to what's the word? Coerce you into voting Democrat and dealing with nonsense. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't advocate. If it's a majority black church, I'm in this country, I'd be wary attending it. Right. Now I also have some other thoughts too about evangelical churches. I wouldn't suggest most of them either. If you're trying to actually grow spiritually, I wouldn't suggest most of them either. But, yeah, that's another thing, right? That's another video for another time, right? I'm going to leave y'all with that. All right, we're gonna close out. Close out. Okay. I'm gonna eat my lunch. Until next time, be on the alert, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you to everybody that liked, commented, and subscribed to this video and supported it financially. Appreciate you all. See y'all around. Bye.